Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Save Clear podcast.
I didn't know we were starting.
Yeah, no, that's literally, I think half the episodes start with somebody saying that we started.
I thought about wearing Nigel's face in just so you can have a really, really high performing podcast.
Oh, okay.
But we don't
Or
have
Michael would work.
Yeah, we don't have a
Imagine-
printer
I was gonna wear
available.
You
Michael.
could
Yeah.
be Michael.
And then it would have been like the
That-
best performing video ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need more of those.
just two Michaels and two Nigels, and we're not even in it.
Oh, yes.
Nigel, Michael.
Yes.
That's the name of the podcast.
Every time we have Michael on, I've been like removing one additional letter from his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michael, then it was
So at some point it'll just be like
Mike.
M.
Yeah.
See how good the algorithm is with
Yeah.
like connecting them.
It doesn't need titles.
We started doing that with Nigel, but we can't do that.
Never finished it.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to get it to record.
I'm a little bit slow.
It took me a second too. Oh no.
You know, I am wearing a shirt that says "Words are hard," and I'm a little bit hard. You know, it's tough for
Words
me.
are hard.
That took me too long. Sorry, Nigel.
Yeah, you just
We
have.
just can't have him on the podcast anymore. That's why he's not on anymore.
Oh, the real
Yeah,
reason
ran
comes
out
out.
of letters.
Yeah.
You could
You
safely
just start
remove.
calling him by his YouTube channel, so everybody else does. They call
Yeah.
him Nile.
He
I
loves
still
it.
do that.
I know Jabril has done that as well. His channel is Jabril's,
hmm
and so people
Oh,
call
yeah.
him Jabril's, and it's Jabril, and he thinks it's funny.
I mean, it's
That's
kind
his
of their
Discord
own
name,
fault,
too.
you
Yeah.
know, at that point.
Yeah, we decided just to stick with the basic. Hopefully, we don't get tired of our names ever.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
because
you
easier
know.
then
that
that'd
way.
stink.
Yeah, no, I think Alan used to be sufficiently advanced.
Yeah.
So he still kind
Yeah.
of used it, but
He still shows up when you search for it.
yeah,
It's
it's a little bit too tied to it.
oh,
But there's
yeah.
something about using like a brand name if you're a channel that kind of does like you're doing things.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I think a bad. I mean, I feel like you have a pretty strong brand anyway.
Yeah, I've been wanting to like kind of move away from it somewhere
Really?
too.
No, it's too
Really?
I
robust.
mean, I know, but I don't know. I just feel like it would be nice because then if it's more like my name, it's kind of just like whatever I want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, but you're.
That's what you think, but the algorithm
Yeah.
disagrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you would still end up being just as trapped.
But then I feel like people don't really know me. It's more like, just the backyard
It's
scientist.
very descriptive, though. I think that's the
Yeah.
best part of
Yeah.
the name. Is it's like it immediately provides a vibe as to like, oh, it's a guy who does like experiments at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting.
Right.
You're-
Whereas sufficiently advanced, like, what the hell does
Yeah.
that mean?
Well, and that's
True.
something that
it seems like an old YouTube kind of thing, though.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
the King of Random
Yeah.
is like another one of those. It's just like
Mhm.
crazy Russian hacker.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's no way that's his real name.
Probably not. I
I
don't
mean,
even know if he's Russian.
having a strong theme and something that like where like people can pitch you and your channel really quickly is great. For us, I think it's hard because also we started too many channels.
Mm.
Too many channels and too much like variety
Too
within a
much
single
variety.
channel.
I mean,
So-
we are the constant in it, but it's hard to like I don't know
Hard to
elevator
pitch it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like the 10-second pitch. That's sort of like one of the ways I've been thinking about like making videos is how could you describe it to somebody in like 10 seconds? Like, let's say you watch a video
Mhm.
and you go to describe it to your friend.
Well,
Like that salt fork video we've talked a lot about.
Oh, yeah.
the guy. Like this guy's first video that he's made, at least public, unless he hit all the other ones because they're
Yeah.
bad. And it's a really interesting video. It's very like, it feels like a really early kind of first video that someone would do, but it's also well done.
Really well done for what it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
for a
it's-
first
it-
video.
so
Right.
there's Kevin's video.
No.
No.
There's this, it's a video. So we'll do that. We'll
Okay,
do
yeah.
the- we'll do the
Let's
pitch, we'll do
provide
the-
context.
Okay.
Let's provide
It's a
context for
guy
everyone.
who tries to make a fork from a block of salt.
Yes.
And he struggles
Okay.
the entire time.
So,
because
Yeah.
so
just
every
keeps
time he
breaking every
takes a
time.
bite of food, it's perfectly salty.
Yeah, I love
Okay,
that.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of like,
That's a good pitch.
yeah, exactly. It's like you can explain it to a friend. You're like, yeah, this guy tried to make a fork out of salt, and then he's got a reason as to why he did that.
Yeah.
And so it gives you this perfect 10-second explanation of
Yeah.
like, he makes a fork out of salt so that
Yeah.
his food is salty. Like
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Mhm.
There's something familiar about it.
Yeah.
So whoever you explain it to doesn't sound, you don't sound insane.
Yeah.
I imagine trying to explain like,
Well,
the toilet
mildly
seat,
insane.
like a mood ring toilet seat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds like crazy.
The hard thing that we struggle with is the why, because
Yes.
so much it's like, well I'm
I
YouTube
want it.
brained.
Right.
I like this sounds
It's
fun
rotted.
to do.
It's like,
Like,
Yeah.
decaying.
yeah, like I just want to do it.
Yeah.
But like,
There's
The intrusive.
enhanced.
Let
What
the
is the
intrusive
why?
thoughts win.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like I can see what mood I'm in without wearing a ring.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's
the,
it.
The salt one is kind of bullshit anyways, right? Of like,
Yeah.
so the food is perfectly salty. It's like, is
It's
that
gonna
really?
be too salty every time.
It'll be too salty
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
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 But it's like just like
It's
it's
the
smooth enough.
veneer of
you read,
yeah.
you read the title and it gives you like you instantly start thinking about it yourself. You're like, oh, like wouldn't the fork snap, or like how do you make a salt fork?
right.
What
Yeah.
about a salt
Would
spoon?
it be too salty or would
Right.
it be
Yeah.
perfect? I don't know. How much salt do I actually put on a single bite of food?
Right.
Yeah,
And the things that people click on are like kind of usually more obscene ideas, and more obscene ideas are harder to explain why you want to do it.
Yes.
And so that there's like, it's a very interesting, we've like talked a lot about it of like, why does this work so well for kind of a simple idea?
Cursed things in general.
Like a cursed thing that's like just normal enough.
yeah.
We were like,
Mhm.
yeah, I could see that being like, they cook on salt blocks, like,
Yeah.
but could you make
Yeah.
a wooden spoon to make sure that every bite is perfectly woody? Like,
yeah, lots of
that
fiber.
doesn't make any sense at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Like,
Splinters in every bite.
perfectly
Oh, yeah.
splintery. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so I don't know.
I think a lot of the charm in that video was you watch him struggle,
Yeah.
and it's relatable because it's
Right.
everybody's tried to do something like that before, where it almost doesn't make that much sense, but it makes enough sense
Yeah.
that he's like still continuing to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like too stupid where it's like, why is he even wasting his time on this? It's
Right.
like he can almost, he's so close, like you want
Right.
to watch him finish it.
Mhm.
Caitlin and
Yeah.
I have this moment where like if something goes wrong in our videos, we say bad for us but good for the video,
Yeah.
because that's our consolation price.
Right.
Yeah. But the
You know?
struggle is
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah.
It
You know?
is.
The most, I mean, I said this to you guys earlier, the most, like, the more you suffer, the better the story is. So
Yes.
It's like the most
Yeah.
miserable
Yeah.
scenarios make the best.
So this is why we're in a trash can
Yes.
holding mics.
Are you
'Cause,
implying that
we're
you're
garbage.
suffering right now? Are you not
Yeah.
enjoying this podcast?
Caitlin is sitting in this handmade chair.
She got the
It's-
wide one. Mine
Oh,
is
the
gonna
wide?
like slowly eats into my hips
Yeah.
because I
You
built
can-
this
I-
one.
You can sit in my chair if you
That
don't like
will
that
eat
one.
your
No,
ass.
Tortured
no.
about
That's
Yeah, it's got nails sticking out.
I snuck in here.
It
here
imparts
early.
a curse.
I'm just adding to the trash. I snuck in early. And I grabbed one of the normal chairs just because
I noticed
my
that.
back is failing me at my age.
That's
Yeah,
bad.
I'm honestly very comfortable. This is nice.
You got the actual chair we bought.
I think
Ah.
you have the nicest chair.
Yeah, guess how
Ah.
much money that chair cost at Big Lots?
$5?
Okay, you bought this at Big Lots, not secondhand.
Yeah,
$20.
no, it was.
Holy
like $90.
moly.
Was it $90?
90.
$89.99.
Yeah.
The price tag's still on it.
Yeah, and they're like actively falling apart. I think this might actually be the worst money we've ever spent.
I think so.
Caitlin,
It
this
is
is
Then you
definitely.
wouldn't buy a $60
It's
fan?
the worst value
No, no.
chair I think you could possibly
We
saw
buy.
it. Yeah, we
It's
saw
not
it.
a
Like,
recliner.
that's
Yeah.
really cool. Like, I bet you these chairs are like
Recline.
$50 or less.
Recline it.
I thought they were going to be
I
like $40
think
bucks.
that
Yeah, it does.
You pull
I
it
think
out
it's
or is it a
broken.
handle?
I think
The white
Oh
one.
my gosh. Yes. It's going. It's going.
You might just
She's
keep
reclining. I'm sorry for anyone just listening.
Click.
You know, we got it partway there.
Partway
I am
there.
more comfortable now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine
you are.
mine is similar shape, but I put the wood part of the handle. I instead of putting it on the outside of the frame, I put it on the inside. So I messed up when I was building it.
Yeah.
And so it's like 2 inches too narrow.
So really
So it kind of
digs
digs
into
in.
the thighs.
Yeah. Because I copied this one, but
Have you ever gone back and revisited a project, made it better, or fixed it?
I kind of think about this chair all the time. If I took all the fabric off and then moved the bar to the outside, it would be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Why do you?
No reason in particular. I was just curious.
Curious.
Or are all the projects I do need redeeming?
do you have some suggestions?
We-
Are you trying to
yeah.
bring up something that
We've actually
We actually did do it
you
once.
think that you think that he should do?
We did
Yeah.
a DIY retry.
Which
where
one?
we went back and redid a project from our early.
It was a cat scratching post. It was like a thing where like it
Ah.
wouldn't have done well without the shtick.
The shtick
I don't
of
think at all
redoing it?
because it was like redoing one of our first DIY projects.
Yeah. No.
And it did well.
Yeah. I've noticed that in like storytelling or like when I'm in the video, it's not necessarily like one video, two video. Like I kind of will merge both of those ideas at the same time of like, you'll start doing something and then it doesn't go well. And that sort of actually establishes the real motivation for a video.
Mhm.
So it does not surprise me that did well because it establishes like a clear
Oh,
failure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
like-
from the beginning.
Yes, it's like this went poorly the first time. We're gonna do it right this time, and people are curious, like, well, what happened the first time that they're gonna do differently this time? Like,
Yeah.
and immediately they kind of understand the pipeline of
Mhm.
what they're getting into.
Yeah.
So we stumbled across something good on accident, as we
It's
often
not
do.
about the cat post.
Yeah,
no, not at all.
It's the redemption. Like it's but that's the worms, the rot of like thinking about how people perceive stories. Cause
Yeah.
now you like overthink everything. It's like, well, then what I gotta do is my whole channel is like I do something really bad and then I redeem it in my next video.
Or you do something to get angry comments.
Yeah.
And then you do a video about the angry comments.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Exactly. No, but like that literally, I think the first time I did that, I was like, oh wow, that like worked pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Was
I
that
did
the
it
X-ray
again.
machine one?
No,
or?
the first one was the battle bot.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
bought the battle bot,
Oh.
and then there are people, and then you're like, okay,
The Red
cool.
Devil, yeah,
Red
yeah.
Devil, yeah, and then the X-ray machine, and then I think that was like a time when I was like, because there's like the meta is always changing on YouTube of like what, not even like the types of videos that people are into, but like when things saturate, and it's really
Mhm.
hard to describe this because it's sort of
Yeah.
almost more like my gut feeling is like I'm always trying to change things up, and I think at that time I was feeling the most squeezed, where
Yeah.
it was like I didn't really know. Like I felt like kind of like a lot of the decisions, a lot of the motivations of making videos, I was like struggling with it. Like I think
Yeah.
the one that like was like the beginning of that arc was trying to cut my hair with a robot,
Yeah.
Mm.
because it was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing this?
I kind of saw that like in your face
Yeah.
while you're like in the video.
Yeah. And it was, and so like I remember like really like banging my head against the table with that one, and I like drew out like I actually I cut a whole minute out of that video just
Oh, really?
like a month ago.
Oh,
the
wow.
end.
Oh, after
I cut the
uploading.
first 60 seconds.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Because I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know, we were talking.
Oh yeah,
I think-
did it ever make a difference?
I hadn't looked at it, but it
Okay.
did spike up a little bit, but it never got like a massive boost.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was like for me, I feel like I have to kind of explain and justify what I'm doing
yeah.
to
Yeah.
like for a video to feel like purposeful.
Yeah.
And I mean, people will say no, it doesn't matter, blah blah, but like it does, because like YouTube is like the algorithm's really good at detecting when it thinks people are enjoying a video, and if
Mhm.
you can like give them a good narrative and story, like they will watch more of it.
Yeah.
And so the struggle for me is always like, here's a nonsensical idea, but now I feel like I'm being forced to like over explain it. And then you
Mhm.
kind of like, and then it like, I was really just sort of like, I don't want to say lost, but it was just like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? What am I
I
doing?
mean,
What
like,
am I doing?
unless you do something so crazy
Yeah.
that the idea itself like pushes beyond the
Yeah.
need for
are
reasoning.
you
like,
talking about a bear trap?
I don't want to. I don't know when this is coming out, but I'll just say the rocket sled into the car.
Oh
doors.
yeah, yeah. So
You know?
that's, yeah.
Did you have to
That's
justify
easy.
that at all? Or
Not
you were
really.
like, I want to do
You
that.
did.
I did, yeah, because that
Lockheed
was
Charlton.
one. Well, that was one that I remade also.
Yeah.
So-
you remade
Oh.
it, and Lockheed stole your idea.
They did.
They stole your idea.
They stole my idea.
That's how they
Yeah.
killed. Who'd they kill?
Oh,
Some
yeah.
terrorist, some ISIS guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was playing with this and I messed up the camera.
Did you move the camera?
No,
Okay.
I'm fine. Okay.
So it's like there's enough of a lead
Enough of a lead-in.
of like
Yeah.
Lockheed Martin stole my. I mean, they didn't.
They
There's
did,
no
but
way.
everybody thinks they did.
But it's funny,
And
'cause-
people like bought
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Even if you believe it, that's enough. Like even if
Yeah.
everyone says that's bullshit, like just seeing a crazy person believing something is
Yeah.
totally. And so like there's enough of an explanation as to why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like that you do it. It's like the Mr. Beast circle, right? You're like, well, these people they're gonna go like crazy. Like they're gonna be like punching
Oh,
each
yeah.
other to stay in that circle, right?
Mm.
For 10 grand. I remember when that first
Mhm.
video came out. I'm like, they're gonna like actually be like killing each other in this circle. And
Yeah.
that really wasn't what the video was about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was sort of the idea, is this crazy motivation.
Mhm.
And so when you're making
Last one to take their
Yeah.
hand off the Lamborghini
Yeah,
wins it.
exactly.
Stuff like
it's
that.
extreme.
I haven't ever watched the Lamborghini one.
It's okay.
I mean, they're all the
I
same.
mean, his
You
videos
know
are
what
just
it's gonna
very
be.
Yeah,
like
I know,
they're
yeah.
very for a generic audience, and they deliver,
Mm-hmm.
but they're always kind of like hollow and purposeless. But it provides
They're entertaining.
they're entertaining.
Yeah.
Like they're entertaining.
The new one with the giant dominoes and the
Yeah.
like the car shredding the
Yeah.
Lamborghini, or the Lamborghini getting shredded by the car shredder.
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
That was good.
chasing the dragon.
We watched the one where every country was competing.
Yeah.
That one was wild.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Because
I'm
it
just
was
looking
just
at-
like the Squid Game one, but like again
Yeah,
with different games, like the
Right.
crazy sets and everything were just wild.
that's- I don't know how.
What are
they
you
do-
looking at?
I was looking
Evan's
at the monitor,
fascinated.
and Caitlin looked so tiny.
Yeah.
Caitlin
I'm in the small chair.
Yeah.
next to me, though.
Next to you in the
You guys are like the
Chair?
tallest and the
Yeah, I'm
tallest
the
chair.
tallest
Yeah.
and she's the shortest.
This is just like a representation. I think this is our height difference about when we're standing.
yeah, it just
It's a very
looks- it just looks
unsatisfying.
If I'm sitting up.
Yeah.
It's
I think
not
if you
like-
stood
Yeah,
up,
it's
you
not
wouldn't
good.
even be in frame anymore.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's cut off. But you've been able to repeat videos, not repeat videos, but like
Like revisit.
Yeah,
revisit topics
Yeah.
before. What do you think that it is about your type of content that lets you redo things? Because we've tried it. We've had some
We
success
have
on
some series
things
where it works.
and some things where it does not work
Mhm.
at all.
Yeah.
Like pumpkins, great.
We
Other
do a
things, not
resin
great.
pumpkin every year, and that
Oh
one.
yeah, I saw the
where we
one
try to
last
preserve
year.
it.
God, that was like 50 pounds, 75 pounds of resin or
It's-
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It was a
so
lot.
Doing
heavy.
something crazy again this year.
Is it still like,
The resin, the pumpkin's still
is
great.
it still preserved?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
here's the weird thing. It's kind of like created juice within the like
Yeah.
That's not
Pumpkin
weird. That's
shaped-
disgusting.
Yeah.
So-
within
like,
the pumpkin
One day
shaped.
I kind of want to drill it out and see what the
You-
juice smells
do
like.
kinda wanna drill it.
Has
Oh.
anyone done that? Has
I
anyone
don't know,
cut-
but like, I
We've
wanted to
considered
like
it.
I want maybe the finale of the pumpkin series.
Like when we're done
we
with
open
all
up
of
the
them.
pumpkins.
Imagine like drilling
Oh.
into it and it kind of squirts out because it's like built up
Yes.
pressure and gas.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, so we
the
took him.
juice levels rise and fall
Yeah.
Wait.
over like periods, and it just
What's happening? What?
I don't know. It's
I
an
don't know where the
ecosystem,
where the
man.
juice is coming from and going because it changes
It's
within within the pumpkin. But also we're starting to see some like cracks coming from the inside where the pumpkin is
Oh.
towards the outside. So like
Mhm.
Trying to escape.
pressurized.
it's trying to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
think-
yeah.
I think that the resin is not like perfectly like remember the Ben
Impermeable.
Krasnow thing where like the
Yeah.
CO2 permeates into the
Oh.
Yeah, there is
Like-
some kind of gas exchange that can
Yeah.
happen, but I mean that's a big like the thickest section of that, or the
That's
thinnest
some
section.
trash.
Yeah.
The thinnest section of that's probably still like an inch, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot.
When is this coming out?
Which one?
This podcast?
I don't know. Next
Okay.
Next week.
We
Or
We
is it the
won't
week
say what
after?
it
We
is.
won't
just
say
in
it
case.
is. Yeah, just in case.
we could censor over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin and I will respond like, "Wow,
We're gonna.
whoa, that's the
Whoa!
craziest thing I've ever heard." Whoa.
We need to call you guys with every idea that we have just to like get that reaction. Like, okay, good. I'm doing okay.
Yes, let's go.
Yes. But you guys roast each other's ideas pretty harsh.
Yeah,
behind the
we're I
scenes.
think pretty aggressive. Like
You need that. You need somebody to tell you
Yeah.
no,
I mean,
honestly.
Yeah, we don't have anyone.
No.
We
That's
could
why
reach
we end
out.
up doing what we do.
Yeah, I Chelsea tells me sometimes that I go too hard, but also I'm like, well, if they don't like it, then they don't have to
Yeah.
come back. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we're all like very, very, very like focused on a goal of like making good videos,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and so we will like gladly take that like harsh, honest feedback of like, tell me. It's not what do you think of the video, it's tell me how you feel at every moment. Like, what do you feel is happening? Do you feel like it's gone on too long? Do you feel like I'm not getting to the point? Do you feel like it's dragging things out? Like,
Yeah.
it's really easy to stick to one stupid idea, like the cotton candy video, right? You
Yeah,
and Alan
that's-
did the exact same things in your
Yeah.
videos that you did at the same time. You did the cotton candy gun, and he did
Uh,
what was it? What was he?
the jump, the legs.
The moon boots?
So it was like
moon
Yeah, yeah,
3
the moon
months
boots.
ago.
So what they did is they both were making normal videos, and they were all in Florida for Creator Clash
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're together. We should film bits together. And so they kind of did like repetitive bits, but with another YouTuber after they had already just done kind of something very similar in the video. And so both videos essentially were going normally. And then all of a sudden it was like a complete
Yeah.
derailment.
Oh, I know what you're
Like,
talking about. Yeah,
Collaboration
yeah, yeah.
mode. And then you like did something else that didn't really like
It was-
the
it was-
progression like stopped.
It was weird. I had a lot of things I had to fit into that video. So I
Yeah.
had the
Mm.
sponsorship, which they wanted a mid-roll. So they wanted it like in the middle of the video.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
I also wanted to do it a bit for Opensauce because
Mhm.
Opensauce was coming up.
Oh.
And then Alan was in town and I like never get to see Alan. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, why don't you like play with the cotton candy gun with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to like introduce all these things
Yeah.
like in a row. And
Yeah.
it
So
didn't
like
really
the
make
video is like trying to make a cotton candy gun, and then all of a sudden it explodes.
Yeah.
At Creator Clash with Alan. You're like, what? This is not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
to come
Yeah.
Next. And I think that's like we pretty much will always like pitch stuff to each other and
Yeah.
like, tell us where it sucks.
Yeah.
Like tell us where I didn't
like
get it.
where
You know,
where did you lose interest?
you know
So
it's
you're
nerve-wracking?
checking in throughout like the
Yeah.
editing
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, usually like later. Like we try not to like have it happen too early.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've only watched one person watch our content that's kind of in this space. They're reacting to our content.
Yeah.
It was like a Twitch streamer. watching and reacting to her content, and that was the most interesting thing I've ever experienced.
Oh yeah.
Because she was completely unbiased, and
she
she
didn't
had
know
chat
us.
there, and everything was
Yeah.
like happening, and I learned so much just watching that.
Yep. Like I think something that I do is have somebody else watch it. I haven't done this in a while, but like it almost makes my discomfort sensitivity skyrocket.
Yeah.
I'll
Ask your
like
mom
get
to watch it.
uncomfortable,
Mhm.
like thinking like I need to tell them like, oh, don't worry, the intro's almost over, and then I'm like, oh, the intro's too long. And
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like when you show somebody a meme and they're like, and you're like, huh? Like it's funny, right? And they're just like,
I think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I'm not sure if everyone watching this will relate, but like remember in the early like in the early days of YouTube, where it was like all about sharing a funny short thing with your friends.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everyone would get together and like, look at this YouTube video I found, and then like you just like, please validate my taste in videos by enjoying this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then you don't try
It
to
got
one up
worse
each
and
other.
worse the longer the videos got.
Yeah,
too, 'cause
and
then
then you
you're
start
like-
sweating.
you're
You're
like-
like,
you're like-
oh yeah.
You're like,
You're like, hold
"Give it a
on,
minute,
hold on, let me show you. Like
it's gonna be funny soon.
you're like scrolling, you're like this is the good part. Wait, keep watching. This is gonna be
Yeah,
good.
it's gonna
I
be the
swear.
best part, and they still don't laugh. You're like, oh.
I mean, I was said this by someone. I don't know if it's good or not.
Those were like shorts,
And you
and
cry.
TikTok has kind of like
Yeah.
taken over that like shareability.
Yeah.
Like
And they're all short, so
yeah. Like people have gotten really good at those like quick jokes. They like it's way easier to not embarrass yourself thanks to all the shorts creative.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just like all like little one-liner jokes or something like
Yeah.
that. Like really
Or
shareable.
If you're scrolling through Caitlin's favorites, it's like fart jokes and cats and fart jokes
Yeah.
and cats.
Mm.
I mean,
farts and cats and farts and
It's
What
cats.
about
it's
cat
reliable.
fart jokes?
Have you? I've never seen a cat fart.
There was one where it was a cat and it was struggling with its litter box and it flings the litter all over it.
Oh, it's like
So
sitting.
it
It's
is-
sitting on the edge of the litter box,
Okay.
and it like tips, and so it flings all the poop and the
Oh,
litter
it's like-
on its back, and it just sits there with the litter like crumbling
In
down its
defeat.
shoulders in defeat.
Wow.
So in a way,
The kind of like cat jokes
combination
and
of
poop jokes
cat
combined.
jokes and poop
Cat
jokes.
potty
in one.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Peak humor.
I like sort of, I don't know. I like having like a purpose for like content and going like we did some TikTok stuff,
Mhm.
and that was a really difficult jump to
Mhm.
to make shorts because they were we were working with them. They like were paying us a little bit because they wanted more
Yeah.
educational content because I
Mhm,
guess
mhm.
TikTok is not very educational.
Yeah.
I think they've accepted that at this point. that-
Yeah,
not
they
that
stopped
anything-
paying us.
Nothing we made, I think, contributed.
Yeah.
I think it's
We had
even
some
worse
good
than
ones.
that.
We had some good ones.
I think they got it. They
Yeah.
got like a grant from the government or something like that.
Do you think that's where it came from?
Yeah, because it was like
Oh.
the National Science Fund or some
Oh.
National Education Fund paid TikTok, and then TikTok gave it to us.
Oh
They
my
wanted us to
gosh.
link to like Wikipedia articles.
Were we all
and
part of
stuff.
the
Oh.
program? I
Yeah.
think so,
We were all
Yeah.
part of
We were
it.
all
Yeah.
part of it.
But like going from sort of a long form, regular videos to making a short was like, in my head, it's like going through the same process. Like, why am I doing this? Why is it interesting? And then it was like, watching, short form content. I'm like, wait a second. Like, you don't have to explain anything. You just like do it.
You just do.
Yeah.
But it took me quite a while to like completely sort of
Yeah.
remap around that. It was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It was like trying too hard.
You have to
Do-
be
do
so
you
much more
ever-
aggressive too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're looking at the difference between like a TV show and YouTube, once someone's committed to a TV show, they're probably going to watch through a longer intro compared to YouTube where they'll scroll off. But then like on TikTok, it's even easier to leave.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
just one little,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
almost
just a little-
forces you to leave.
Well, I think also I'll take some of my behavior into account. I'm so nervous about my algorithm like changing
Yeah.
on me that like I'm always on the like lookout. Like if this turns
Yes.
any way,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna get out of
Yeah.
here right away. So then like it doesn't learn the
That
wrong
was like
signal.
how I
Oh,
was
yeah.
trying to get rid of the
You know?
sexy girls
I
on
know.
my TikTok feed. I was like training myself to get out of here.
You're like training yourself to like not like girls
Yeah.
anymore.
It, like,
Because it's like every time you see a girl, you're like,
Yeah.
no,
No,
no.
no.
That extra second, like it could tell, like even a slight hesitation. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
No. Oh, you want more of that?
no. It was
Here
like,
you go.
it was heavy machinery, and girls, and how do I say the last one? It was like I would say one was like it was like a woman that had like only half an arm and she was like doing weird stuff with it. It was a lot of that. It was like very
Shocking content.
Shock content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I don't know how.
Because that's what you hesitate on.
Yeah, it was like I'm like it was. I don't know what's going on. I've never seen that a woman do whatever.
Yeah.
with
This
half
is
an arm.
what my For You page looks
Oh
like
my
on
gosh.
Instagram.
Lots of animals. Lots of animals.
yeah.
Lots of little like. Oh my! It's all animals.
Yeah,
It's all
it's
animals.
all stupid cat memes. That's
Yeah.
literally all it is.
But that's
Yeah.
a nice place to be.
That's a great place.
What
to
is
be,
that?
yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah, my Instagram feed.
Mine's
It used to be like
uh,
a bunch of Indian guys building things,
Yeah.
like in sandals.
Mine's a whole bunch of.
I don't know.
craft
I don't know what
videos.
happened.
I missed those days.
I miss those days.
The simple days.
Yeah.
Were you ever tempted to just go out and do that?
Wear sandals and build things.
Just go
Like
out,
dig a pool?
Go out and into like
Yeah,
wilderness.
those-
Just go for
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, I'm talking about like the guys that would rebuild batteries. They'd like cut open car batteries, like that kind
oh,
of
I was
stuff.
thinking like the
I was thinking
like,
the primitive technology,
primitive
technology
like
stuff.
Oh,
copycats.
I've
We
thought
were-
about doing
We were
that.
thinking of just we got this idea sitting in the back of my head of just like digging a hole.
Yeah.
Like we just dig a hole.
Live stream, dig a hole,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
keep
yeah.
digging.
How deep we dig a
Red
hole.
Link did that. It
Oh,
was like
did
a
they?
whole. It was a whole like
was
meta
a whole
analysis.
meta?
Yeah, it was a whole meta
Damn.
about digging a hole. They beat you to it.
They actually dug a hole.
They dug a hole.
Big?
How deep?
But that
I
was the
bet we
whole
could
thing.
dig a
That,
deeper
that was the
Deeper.
whole thing. The whole video was about how big of a hole they should build,
Okay.
dig, because it's like they want a perfectly sized hole, but what's
Right.
that perfectly sized hole? They dug it too
Ah.
deep. They
How
too
deep
small.
do you have to dig a hole before the local government comes in and says you can't dig
Yeah.
it deeper?
Depends on where you're digging.
Who do you ask? Who would you even
Until it becomes like a safety hazard for you to be
Yeah.
in the hole.
Well, like in Florida versus California, it's going to
Yeah.
be very different
Yeah.
answers. Have you
Oh yeah, it's
encountered
water.
some weird things because like you're used to like Florida, like woo,
Oh,
and now
yeah.
you're in California,
You
and they're
physically
like,
couldn't dig
"Oh."
deep.
No,
though.
I couldn't. I would dig holes in my front yard, and after
Yeah.
like 2 feet, I would hit the water table.
Oh wow,
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
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 And you just couldn't. You,
It was
you
a
would
swamp.
you'd
Yeah.
keep digging, and like the ground would just start like
Donkey.
kind of caving in.
Wow.
Yeah,
Then Donkey and Shrek would come out.
get out of my swamp.
Yeah. I've really wanted to just dig a hole though. Like,
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that forever. Ever since
Would you heavy machine?
I read
it?
holes.
yeah, maybe, yeah, probably. I think it would be.
Would you go straight to heavy machinery, or would you start?
No,
with
you've
a
got to
shovel.
do it
And
with a
ramp
shovel.
up.
Got to do
Start
it.
start with your hands.
No, just a shovel.
Really?
Yeah, the holes challenge. You know, have you read
Uh-huh.
the holes, the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't think a kid could dig a 6 foot by 6 foot hole every day. I don't.
Oh,
No, I think you could.
know?
I think you could.
You think so?
In the right soil, yeah.
Dude, that's a lot of not.
It's a lot of digging.
whole
Yeah,
day.
digging.
But a
Whole
whole
day.
day and you get good at it. You get strong.
Dude, you would
man.
get digging
Yeah.
is hard because you've got to
Yeah.
like use your whole back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw my back out again.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
No.
We'll have a holes
it's not.
challenge.
It's not worth it. I've reached the point in my life where I'm just like, no.
I think heavy machinery would be cheating, but I do think you would probably get the same satisfaction because we dug out an ant. So the other day, is this bad? We cast an anthill in aluminum.
I mean,
You've done it before.
Were the ants?
I've actually
bothering
never
you?
done it before.
Yeah,
So
Really?
they
I've only
started
cast
And there was an
fruits
ant
and
war. The
vegetables and
ants
stuff
were
like
fighting
that,
each
and
other.
water balls.
Oh, you had to put an
I've
end
never
to that.
done the
Yeah,
ants.
It would
and-
just
Did you not
spread.
do
Yeah,
termites?
exactly. We
No,
had to.
no, this is
we
like
had
a
to.
Mandela
The thing we
effect
do
people
on
think about
accident
me.
every
It's like
time
that I
is the
cast
audio gets
anthills that I've
split
never
between
done that
two
before.
conversations.
What
So
do
what
you
do you
send
do
to
in
Will?
that
Was it
scenario?
the-
Like, do you just
Water balls.
And the
Like, it was like the
audio-
Orbeez.
Turn off
yeah.
one of the
the
mics.
retention just drops as
Oh,
it
yeah.
moves
There's
forward to the
three
regular.
conversations
that's
going
nice.
on.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I don't know if that happens.
Okay.
Huh?
The
Yeah.
split audio.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
so
anyway.
You guys will go in the left ear, and
Yeah.
then I will go in the right ear.
Okay, cool. Planning that out.
Actually,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Well,
can
I
kind of
think-
split it off. So it's like me and you are in the left ear, and then those two are on the right ear.
That'd be
Yeah.
naughty.
Oh,
Well, I was thinking like I want to have like something really like what's the right word? I don't want to say unprofessional, but
Unprofessional probably works.
a little bit real
Deranged.
to happen during
Yeah.
this episode.
Uncaring.
Yeah.
During this-
Non-optimal.
Yes.
Non-optimal.
Okay, yeah.
Like unpolished in the best way. There you
Yeah.
Unscripted.
Is that a t-shirt? I'm unpolished.
go. In the best way.
In the worst way. So if let's say theoretically we were going to exterminate some ants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead of using poisons, we used
Yes.
molten aluminum.
Yes.
hmm
And then we dug out the
Resulting
the
structure.
resulting
yeah.
structure. Yeah.
It's kind of honoring
tomb.
them.
Right.
Yeah. It's a sculpture.
It's like Ant
forever.
Pompeii.
Yeah. There also
But-
is a massive ant problem here.
Yeah.
Well, but
Oh,
also,
so
I mean,
many
like,
ants.
it's not like the world lacks ants.
Yeah.
If you, I read a stat, if you gathered all of the mass of ants versus the mass of humans,
Yeah.
ants outmass humans.
Yeah,
mass.
they do.
mass.
Really?
Oh my god, what do you think an ant burger
like a
would taste
giant-
like?
Oh.
Like,
They
imagine-
make cricket burgers, right?
Yeah, but like
cricket
what if
meat?
it's like just ants? Versus,
Just ants.
There's like
That would
some
taste
ants that
different.
just eat like honey. They walk around
Do
with
they
like
eat
giant
sweet?
butts full of honey.
I was traveling.
crunchy.
I was traveling once, and I saw an ant that was about an inch and a half long.
Oh,
So
What
that
did it
might be
taste like?
meaty.
oh
That might
my
be
god,
meaty.
that thing would be like a grape. It would pop like a grape.
Oh.
Yeah. No worries.
So you're gonna do a ant burger,
burger?
video? Is that the
You-
next
you
cursed
getting into
cooking
cooking
video?
content?
I think that I would. I'm not sure. I think I would have.
Well,
a
I
very
want, I
hard
want you to get into
time.
cooking content. I want you to cook with your
Uh,
laser. But
Oh
the thing
yeah,
is,
yeah. You
it
could
would
probably.
just be
I'm not sure.
crisp. How do you get the heat to penetrate? You could heat up like a metal structure with the all the watts.
I did this a long time ago. It's not.
Well,
a
you
good-
did it with
yeah,
lasers,
with a
but like,
CO2
you
laser.
were doing direct. What if you did
No,
indirect?
I think I tried indirect.
Indirect?
I
Ah.
defocused the beam.
well, you
too,
defocused it, yeah, but that's still so much surface.
yeah, but like
You could
The
heat
prob-
up. You could
so
heat up metal.
Your laser
with the
was
laser.
CO2, so
Yeah,
your laser,
reflect everything.
it's like tissue absorbs it really well.
Yeah.
So my laser, it kind of penetrates deeper,
Ooh.
like a
Oh.
centimeter.
Ooh, what
or
if you
two.
cook a burger like
Instantly.
medium rare, but it's the opposite? So it's cooked on the inside and raw on the
Oh,
outside.
that would be cool.
Oh.
That would be really cool.
But
A steak. It's like bloody.
You
on
could-
the
Yeah,
you
outside.
could do that with,
cross-cut
like-
it, see what it looks like.
like
Cooking a
proton
steak
beams
backwards.
or something.
Well, like
Oh,
I think it'd be
that's a good
interesting to see like
title.
how
Radiation
fast you
therapy.
can cook with a laser.
Oh, actually, you could
The
do
cross
that.
section is the brown on the inside, pink on the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
It's just cooking a steak backwards.
You could do that with like those radiation therapies that they use to target cancer. You know, like gamma knives, how they have like a bunch of sources in like a halo around your head.
Yeah.
And they all point to one spot, like in your brain. So it's like your whole
You're like,
brain.
"Just end me, please."
So-
And they all go off.
Well,
You stop
that's
moving.
happened before on accident too. So that was an oopsie.
Or
But-
you could just like if you want to
like-
cook a burger
so
inside
you could
out,
do that, I think, with one of those machines.
you could just go to McMastercard, buy like a heat plate or something like that, and just stick it in and slide it out.
Yeah, but
That's
you
the
gotta
boring
Stick
way.
The
plate
laser has
in
like a
the
scanning function
burger?
too, so you
Yeah,
could just like
you
have
could
it
do that.
scan across the surface. We could try that after this.
Cook some meat.
Yeah.
I mean, we do need to eat lunch.
We do need
after
to eat
this.
lunch.
It was not gonna cook it at all.
What?
It's way too energy dense.
Yeah, you might have to get pretty far away.
Yeah, and then at that point, it's just like a heat lamp.
It
Like,
is
at that
because it's just
point-
infrared light, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you could put a nice char on a steak, you know, sear it really
That's what
good.
I did, and with the old CO2
Oh,
laser.
really?
I put fake char marks in it.
Oh, yeah.
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 I feel like to me the idea is like, how would you do it so that you could like cook yourself from the inside out? So like that means you can't insert anything. It's like you gotta do it. You gotta
Yeah.
like do it for real. Like
With
how would you-
energy.
yeah, like how would you actually cook it from the inside
Well,
out?
there's those intersecting beams where they intersect.
It's
It's like a
That's
really
where
high
the-
energy
Yeah.
density.
Yeah.
That's why like it doesn't fry the rest of your brain, only like one small part of your
Yeah.
your whole brain gets a
Right.
radiation dose. But
yeah, but
only where
it's the mix of it.
only where they intersect you get,
Intersect,
like,
yeah.
big dose. And also
Okay.
certain like particles, they have a specific energy, so they like penetrate a set amount before they kind of like hit something.
Right.
So you can use those.
So what's the why that we come up with for this?
Yes, you do this now. That's
What's the
that's,
story?
Well, I think that like a lot of what we do is we come up with a good idea and then
Cooking
we're like,
only
how
the
can
yolk
we
of it-
justify
yolk of
this?
an egg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you could
Oh,
do.
cook
You could
just the yolk.
Just the yolk.
do
yeah.
like the fork.
Mm.
Do the fork video where like the salt fork, where it's just like, what would a steak taste like if it was cooked?
With
would it
laser.
still look appetizing?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Well, it
Like-
certainly wouldn't.
Like,
Yeah,
what would
but
it,
would
would it
you
taste
eat it?
different if it was less cooked on the outside and more cooked on the inside?
Yeah, if the sear was on the inside.
Yeah.
You, you know, you could just like cook a steak and then just put some more raw meat over it and microwave it for 20
But it's
seconds.
yeah, but that's you see, that's like the brainworms is like the idea that you could do that is not interesting. Like
Yeah.
you could get your answer, but
Yeah.
that question is strong enough that it justifies going through the process of calling every radiation therapy.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I know.
Where it's like, you know, you're going through the
Yeah.
process to achieve an answer. And
You've
of
gotta
course all the
convince-
comments will then be telling you did it the hard way, but that's kind of the point.
You've got to
Yeah.
find some doctor with the same brainworms
Yes.
as you have.
I want to cook my
Yeah.
brainworms.
That's a good contact to have.
Yeah.
That's why I bought a slow motion camera before I had a project that
Project for-
needed
yeah,
a
yeah,
slow
yeah.
motion camera.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
To, like,
There's not
motivate
a
yourself to
single
play it,
doctor,
yeah.
nobody with any sort of like beam therapy would ever want to put the idea into people's heads that this thing can cook you from the inside out.
Oh, yeah.
Like
This is
could
bad
you-
PR.
That's
Yeah.
the worst PR. Like I saw
Yeah.
this video where somebody used this exact machine to cook on the
It's like, but what is your brain but a piece of steak?
Well, I mean, if any of us ever gets one of those treatments,
Yeah.
then that's the motivation right there. Well, it's kind of like
So-
when you got your X-ray, you got frustrated, so
Right.
you got your own.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes from personal experience.
Right. I wanted to see if it would cook my brain, and then it does, and then you don't get the therapy. Because I think that like some of the motivations like that I've had that are very clean or like the medical stuff, right? Where it's like you have something, a bad experience, and
Yeah.
you want to solve
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like those are always
Mhm.
great, like straight to the point. It's like
Easy,
here's the
yeah.
thing that happened. Here's my way of combating it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that every single time. Otherwise, it's just like, like, oh, this guy's just sort of got either a lot of problems or like just making shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that the more sort of absurd the idea is, the almost more quick and sort of hollow and sarcastic your motivation has to be.
hmm
Like the
Mm.
simpler it is, the better. Like
Mm.
not trying to elaborate a whole bunch.
Not trying to actually make it realistic.
Yeah, because that
It's
was like that
just-
was one of the biggest problems I had was trying to like over justify everything. And
Yeah.
It was like because
Yeah.
I think one of my problems in general is like over explaining. Like that's just my brain really likes to like go through.
Well, it's
the
like
whole
you want to make
process of
sure that
something.
people understand exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's
Mhm.
like they can understand kind of more than you think, I
Yeah.
guess, or it's like
They
don't
infer a lot, and video
Yeah,
provides a lot
they
of
infer a
context
lot.
too. So like
Mhm.
you can speak like really poorly in narration, and the video will provide just enough context that they don't even recognize the grammatical errors.
or that you're
Mm-hmm.
even like really what you're saying because they're just
Yeah.
watching it kind of.
Right.
Mm.
And
I think-
so it's I don't know. For me, I've noticed that it's like I have to like really try to hold back and be like, okay, you can't try to explain every damn step of the process.
Mhm.
Like,
I think, that's why we stick with simple things sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we want to make
Yeah, it's easier
our
to
shared
explain.
cat. For anyone who doesn't know, we share a cat. We mail our cat back and forth. It's
yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
it's the same
it's
cat.
the same
we're
cat.
we're saying that now.
Yeah.
I thought we were keeping that a secret.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the first times we're doing podcasts together. I feel like it's time to come out. But anyways, we want to make things for our cat,
Yeah.
and
Which we've never seen in the same room at the same
Never
time.
seen. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
And,
always a
most
nice,
of the
easy
time-
story. It's just
But
like
also, there's a test,
Yeah,
and
it's relatable too.
It's
Yeah.
relatable.
I think people understand like, oh, they internally have motivations of like doing stuff for their cat, buying toys, but toys
Yeah.
are expensive, so you want to make your own.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I
And they
think-
like trash instead.
yeah,
Mhm.
bastards.
Yeah.
right? Like,
It's like the typical like opening presents on Christmas, and then
Yeah.
the kids like play with the box instead of
Yeah.
the toy.
Oh my god, it's
Mhm.
Yeah.
infuriating. Like it's actually, and then they get tired of the box. They want a
Yeah.
new box. It's
Yeah.
like,
My brother got a bigger box. I want
Yeah.
the big
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, I want the big box.
Yeah, I
It
want the
smells like
Lego
me. I need a
box.
new
I want the
box.
Legos.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we would sometimes like build with the boxes afterwards and literally like actually play with the cardboard boxes.
Do you remember the
Makes it hot,
boxes
yeah.
that you would build and play with? Do you remember those toys? It was like they came as flat pack bricks, and you'd have to fold them and assemble them and tape them together, and they were like
Mm.
big cardboard bricks, and you could like build with them.
That's
I don't
kinda
remember this
smart.
at all. That's a genius.
Dude, they were so much fun. It was probably like
That's
one of the
that's
funnest
That's
toys I
awesome.
played
a
with.
scam almost greater than sea monkeys.
There's
Yeah.
there's a channel, Half Asleep Chris. He builds a giant castle out of the cardboard one.
Yeah, the cardboard bricks.
Oh yeah,
Cardboard bricks,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for his cats.
Yeah.
Oh,
first
really?
guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then he
man.
has like cameras in there at night to see what they do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of Lego stuff and a lot of like toy related
cat
content,
stuff.
a lot of
Yeah.
nostalgia content.
Yeah,
Nice.
I feel like doing stuff like that is fun. It's just sometimes hard to like. You're like, this is dumb. Nobody wants to watch this.
But the thing is, like,
But then
you,
they do.
you
Yeah.
have to like f around
Yeah.
and find out every
Yeah.
now and then, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and
Yeah, that's what I've been doing on the more like
second channel.
second channel is just those sort of intrusive things. Like, yeah, sure, this seems like a funny idea. Let's just try that. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
not trying to. You don't have to build it up too much.
Mhm.
You're not worried about like. Oh, the sponsor said you'd get this many views and you didn't get that many views.
Yeah. So you haven't gotten to the point yet where like now the second channel videos are becoming too precious and
No.
you think too much about them.
yeah.
I mean,
After
That
finding
happened to me with
success.
shorts
We-
within like
haven't-
2 or
we haven't
3
fully
videos.
gone there yet.
yeah, I have been very like trying to regulate that
Yeah.
to like what I think.
Protect it, kind of.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was like one of the thumbnails I did. It was like it wasn't that good, and I was like, yeah, but it's good enough.
Yeah.
There you go.
I made like 3 shorts and all 3 of them were bangers, and I'm scared to make another one.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Have you been tempted by second channel, or you just no?
Yeah, I have, but I kind of like I don't have enough time, or like I do, but I think I can probably just like use shorts as that outlet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna have to try to start doing that. I don't know.
Well, oftentimes what we'll do is for our main channel, we'll get all this fun stuff, and we'll have all this experience and this knowledge that we now have, and we don't want to do another second. We don't want to do another main. So then we do a
Yeah.
live stream or a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're already all set up, we're ready to
Yeah.
go. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And then you can just do like a little bit of a follow up, or like look at the most.
That
you know,
I mean, I think
the
about
most
that
requested
all the
thing,
time.
or the most. And then you're
Yeah,
like,
do
it's
stuff
not,
Kind
based
of
on
like the
comments.
director's
Yeah.
cut of
Yeah.
videos. I want to do that all the time. It's like, I cut so much footage for my videos, and it's like I want to just talk about it
Patreon.
more.
Patreon.
Patreon, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even care about that. I just
Just
once
want it
I
out
post
there.
the video, then I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't really care about making the director's cut
Yeah,
anymore.
you just walk
It's
away
only
from
when
it.
I'm editing and I'm having to cut
What,
stuff out.
real men walk away from explosions.
Yeah, exactly.
Disaster unfolding.
No, I think
behind
it's
you.
like, the arsonist always comes back to watch it burn.
I have a question about paints and resins. I've got an
Yeah.
idea of,
Yeah.
for I think probably like a short. I was thinking, how cool would it be to have like a hamster cage that has like thermochromatic paint on it?
Okay.
And so once it gets above a certain temperature, it changes color, so you know your hamster's unsafe. And so the
Mhm.
joke of the short is you buy too high temperature paint, and so you have to like stick the hamster cage in the oven to get it hot enough for the paint to change colors. What do they have high temperature thermochromatic paints? Have you ever used any?
They go up to 300.
300F.
I can
That's
look it up.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like.
Well, no. The thing is, thermochromatic paint. The pigment, basically, they're crystals,
Yeah.
and they twist depending on the temperature, and they reflect different light. So it's
Okay.
a physical twist. Now,
Like with a bunch of tiny little
Do
crystals.
they
Yeah.
become like transparent?
no, they twist
They-
and they
That would be
change
funny.
the different wavelengths
Yeah.
that they reflect out.
Oh,
Mhm.
amethyst. Amethyst is quartz with like purple in it, and that's
Mhm.
just because the crystals on the inside of the quartz are messed up. So if you heat it up,
Ah.
it turns clear.
Oh, weird.
So-
Like
Yeah.
permanently or
Yeah, permanently.
Now, for the thermochromic pigment, it
Yeah.
works best with a black backing. If you
Okay.
just paint it on clear, it's a much weaker effect.
It's harder to see the color.
And
Okay.
the pigment itself is very vulnerable. It's not a hardy material, so you'll need to clear coat it with something if you want it to like last
Mm.
and be durable at all.
Yeah, so like black base, spray on the pigment, cover it in resin is
Yeah.
a good way to keep it safe. But then,
Okay.
yeah, it's not clear.
Yeah.
But maybe part of the hamster cage could be.
If it turns
Mm.
clear, then you can see when your hamster's done.
Yeah. Like you know that you need that it's too late.
Yeah.
I'm scared for your hamster.
I don't have a hamster. Well, I won't. I also won't have a hamster.
Hamster. Have you had a hamster before?
I've had
Young,
many
when I was younger,
hamsters.
yeah.
What happened to them?
They disappeared.
One ran
Forever.
away. The rest just, die
We
eventually.
were young though.
I think that parents buy hamsters for their kids so they learn very important lessons about
Yes.
life.
Yes.
Because
Oh, yeah.
my hamsters, they killed themselves and each other in the most brutal fashions.
Dude.
Were they in cages together?
like
yeah,
battle royale type?
kind of. It was
Oh
like
my god.
one of them got pregnant. It
How?
ate all the well, we thought we got 2 males from the pet store. Turns
Yeah.
out we got one of each. It got pregnant. It ate all the babies, and I'm like, I wake up one
Hamsters
morning.
have- Let's go!
It's like a bloodbath in there.
Oh
Right?
my
Hamsters have
gosh, you
such
found it?
giant
There's
balls.
arms and
though.
legs all
How
over
could
the
you-
cage.
Oh my
How
god.
could
missed
you
the giant
miss the
balls.
giant balls?
I don't know. Maybe it got pregnant at the pet store, and then we got. I don't know. I was like 5.
Yeah.
But
So you found. Oh my gosh.
another one of my hamsters. I lived up north, and up north you have vents on the floor
Oh
for
my
heating and
God.
Oh,
cooling.
yeah.
My hamster got into the vent, crawled into the furnace one day.
When what happened?
Oh, it caught on fire.
Do you,
Oh
do you
my
find
God.
like the scorched?
My dad did,
bits?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they pulled me out of school and they're like, Kevin, your hamster, it's
Toast.
dead. It crawled into the
Toast.
vents, and I'm like, oh.
There was a kid in middle school, and we had the science fair, and I don't remember exactly what his project was, but it ended with an absolute similar scenario to the hamster.
I didn't even miss.
massacre.
My hamster sucked. I didn't even miss it. It bit me
Oh
every
my
time I
gosh.
touched it.
Yeah, I'd probably, if you were a kid though, I can't imagine kids treat hamsters super well. I'm not sure I would be excited to be.
Its
handled
eyes
by
are like
kids.
pop out every time. Like, hi.
I definitely killed a
Put it
hamster.
on the wheel.
Or maybe it was a rat. I don't remember. It was my uncle's. I think it was a hamster, and it was
On
the
accident?
same. It was the
Like,
vent.
the vent.
Oh,
The
No
vent.
way, the
No.
same thing.
Same exact thing.
And they
Wow.
just squeeze in
went
there.
down the vent, and it was just gone. Just gone.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I just
Goodbye.
remember like ours was a little bit of a. I think we had a what's the smaller than
The
a
dwarf
hamster?
Dwarf
hamsters.
hamsters.
Yeah.
Dwarf hamsters.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Just an
durable.
escape.
Those ones are
artist.
mean.
Like you, we,
yeah,
we-
that's
mean.
dwarfs.
I would set up like challenges for it, like those big plastic bins
Yeah.
that everyone has, like I don't know, 15 gallons or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd set.
They call those totes, by the way, which
Totes?
doesn't make any sense. to me.
Totes.
Totes. Yeah.
There's not a handle.
I just call them
I
like
guess,
big
yeah.
Rubbermaid containers.
Yeah,
they call them
Rubbermaid
no
containers.
totes.
I
It's
try to
totes.
avoid any brand names.
Totes is
you
like
know, they're
a
not paying
bag
me.
for
I
your
know.
groceries.
They
Yeah.
call them totes.
I set one up and I put him in the middle to see how he'd get out.
And then
He
you
can't
and then
climb.
you put those
Sulfur hexafluoride.
no, but like I'll like kind of peek at him, and he was able to open his own cage by reaching through the bars,
Oh.
and he learned how to like actually open the bar.
Crafty little
Oh
bastard.
my God.
And then he'd crawl up. He crawled up the cage, and he ran and jumped like a flying squirrel and cleared. Like they're just escape artists. It's
What
crazy.
happened in the tote? Oh, so you put the cage in the tote.
I put the cage in the
Oh,
tote.
it was
Because
like a
I thought it'd be
Tote
like,
mode.
oh yeah, I thought he would no way he could climb
Yeah.
or anything like that. But he just like
So he
diagonal leap.
hurdled.
So he like
Yes, the
jumps
moat.
off the walls like boom, 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 boom.
No, not
Okay.
yeah. He just went straight out. I just
Oh.
didn't know how far these things could jump.
I was
Wow.
taking insulation and drywall off the ceiling in one of the rooms, and I was getting to like a corner point where there was like a different room. It was like a bathroom.
Oh no.
And I'm just like up there sweating my ass off, wearing a mask and everything. And there's
Here?
no drywall. Yeah, in the little building.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, something just like lunges, and it was a rat. And the rat just yeeted right past me, and like Superman.
so like you had it cornered.
Yeah, I had it. I
Yeah.
had it cornered. I had no damn idea the rat was there. It just jumped like up from the joist. So like you're talking what, like 8.5 feet,
Yeah.
and it just jumped, and it just.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
It is like
it just-
Superman
it
right off
ran
the top.
Yeah, it belly flopped right on the concrete, and then it just.
Oh my
ran off,
gosh.
and I can't. I mean, I don't know. Is it? I never found a dead rat.
Yeah.
I
Probably
mean, it
fine.
ran.
Yeah.
Seemed okay.
Oops.
Surprise.
Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, we had some rodents in our garage at our last place, and we'd be filming and would hear them like up there, and like it's just something that like grates on you
Yeah.
because like you just like
You know, it's
know
uncomfortable.
you just
yeah.
know.
Turns out there was an old beehive in our attic and they were eating it. And that's what we were hearing was them like,
Yeah,
See, the problem with rats in your house is it sort of inspires some really good videos you can't do.
Yeah.
they made some appearances in that video. I don't know what that was. Didn't we show it?
did we ever capture the rat on camera?
It was making when we were making the
Rat
the
versus
butt,
resin.
the butt
Rat versus
the butt
resin.
thing
Resin
for
rat.
Tubi.
Resin versus rat. Two
Uh,
rats versus resin.
Oh,
oh my
rat.
God. No,
Rat
I
versus
think only their
Beyblade.
scratching
Rat
made it
versus
in.
Beyblade.
rat versus,
versus
giant
gun.
Beyblade. That's a good
Rat
one.
versus gun.
Rat versus shotgun.
Rat with a gun.
Put
If you
the
give a rat a gun.
Put a rat inside
he
of the
gets-
shotgun shell and shoot it at
I think
another
you're,
rat.
I think you're
Yeah.
letting people too far into your head.
A rat.
A rat in a nice grassy field full of lovely friends that they live happily ever after.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
rat.
A rat's
The
lovely
rat?
trip to the farm.
Yeah, yeah.
Ratapult. Ratapult.
Ratapult.
You know, Ratapult might not be bad.
He ratapulted
Yeah.
himself
People
out of the
would.
attic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ratalytic converter.
Ratalytic converter. Rat. So what are ways to get rid of it? See,
Have
this
you
was-
ever done like an actual brainstorm session between you two and you just like let it go as
yeah. If
far
people
off the
heard
rails
half
as
the crap
possible?
we said, like I don't know how to describe like videos are like you just turn all the filters off.
Yep.
Everything gets
Mhm.
off. Turn it off, and it's like I would be. You can't let it's bad.
I almost like
Yeah.
want to see a whiteboard of your ideas, like devolving into like
We
I just want to see the
It's
journey.
the same ideas that you have, and that you can't tell you can't tell your mom.
It's like war crime territory. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's like you can talk to your friends about it, but you can't tell your grandma about it.
Yeah,
That's
we could go do an extra where we do the horrible brainstorm session. That way, it's at least behind a paywall.
Well, we kind of had one last episode with the drones.
Yeah, the drones
and the lasers.
Yeah,
and the laser drones.
This is a good advertisement.
Yeah, because it's like there's just something. I mean, remember when I don't even want to talk about that. I mean, see, that's the thing. I don't want to say it. I think we did talk about it last time.
What?
When people put I think Action Lab put flies in a vacuum.
Oh yeah.
Cody put a grasshopper in a microwave, and it's like
we in a
put aluminum in an anthill. We put a rat in a blender.
You can
Didn't
beep
they
those
do that
out.
on Fear Factor? I think they literally blended a rat.
Oh, why
On
can't
Fear
you
Factor?
do
On Fear Factor, yeah. I watched a documentary about some of the crazy stuff they made people do, and I'm 99% sure that one of them was they blended a dead rat.
TV used to be
Buck wild?
Yeah.
crazy. Anything
like
goes.
Mythbusters?
Anything
Pig
goes.
with the
in a
pigs.
car.
A pig with everything.
Why can't we use pig
Yeah.
corpses for stuff?
I know. If I put a
The
pig corpse in the bear
injustice.
They
trap,
went through so
Actually.
many pigs on Mythbusters.
There's so many.
So
pigs.
many pigs.
Yeah.
what do you think is cheaper, a dead pig or a recreate
gel
like a
dummy.
ballistics gel dummy pig?
Probably a dead pig.
Ballistics
Definitely.
gel, way more.
What?
expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ballistics gel. I've looked into how to make that. It's time consuming.
It's time consuming.
Well, if you
And
want
it's-
to make it
and
with
it's
gelatin.
Well, and it's fickle.
Yeah.
Well, that's the gelatin kind.
Oh,
Medical
I was thinking
stuff.
gelatin.
Because there's also
Yeah.
the synthetic stuff. It's
Yeah.
just
okay.
We're actually amassing quite a
Plastic.
collection of the synthetic stuff.
And
Oh,
you can
yeah.
you can remelt it,
You
right?
can remelt
and
it. It's-
reconstitute.
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice.
Napalm though. It's
Yeah.
nasty. It's
Yeah.
some of the
Oh.
nasty shit I've
Do you
ever-
have like a special pot that's only for
crock
that?
pot.
because you have to heat it up to 350 degrees or
You have
something.
to heat it up, and it
Yeah.
takes forever. Like it's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like ice. Like there's this weird thermal. What do you call that when
Like-
the ice melts? What's that transition?
like
The
heat of
phase change.
yeah, heat of formation or not, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the energy required. Like ice stays at the 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
For a while.
Mm-hmm.
So there's energy moving, but it stays at the same temperature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, this ballistic gel is it must have just this massive amount of energy because it has to sit hot for a long time before it starts liquefying.
But then you can't go too hot because then it's bad.
Yeah, and then it starts
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
off gas.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
stinky.
It takes
So crock-pot's
4
kinda perfect
times
for that.
the
Yeah,
amount of
perfect.
energy to get the ice from 32 to 33 degrees as
Yeah.
it does from 33 to 34. I
Yeah.
think it's how
very
that works.
weird.
Interesting.
too.
It's like
Yeah.
a hiccup.
Yeah, it's like a thermal battery kind of. It
Yeah.
just sort of maintains.
Yeah.
Like
But with the ballistics gel, there's no heat transfer. So
Yeah.
it just kind of the outside of it's molten, but the inside is still solid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
And it's
stuff.
hot. I got this from Molten Sugar, and
That's
it's
bad,
the
yeah.
same. I
Ooh.
got a scar for
It
that.
doesn't stick
Was that
as
the
The cotton candy?
Cotton candy gun, yeah.
Man, we were just thinking that.
That is a video that I can definitely redo at some
that
point.
thumbnail sucks ass, Kevin.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Well, I changed it.
It's bad.
I tried the one you said.
Did you do the cross section with a drawing, like a CAD drawing?
I loved it. I don't
The
know
video?
what it is.
Thank you.
I love the video.
Yeah, the thumbnail's bad though. The thumbnail does not do it. The thumbnail looks.
I
like
changed it
kid's
a few
channel.
times, and I never saw I change it and I sit there staring at the real time views for
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours.
That's so painful.
I take a screenshot and then I come back and I compare the screenshots.
The problem
I
is
don't see it
that
change.
kind of analysis
Yeah.
doesn't
Analysis.
doesn't actually isn't good feedback. I feel like someone's gut instinct of seeing it and having a feeling about it is usually the best way. And I saw it the other day and I was like, this just feels fake. It feels.
Well, you know
weak.
what's interesting?
That's new. I only changed it back to that a month ago because it used
Really?
to be, I think the one, I don't know, just with the gun.
Did you ever try the CAD version, the cross sectional analysis,
No.
where it looks like you designed a gun? I would
No.
do that.
Okay.
Would you ever edit these to show all of the images you're talking about?
Like edit the podcast?
That's
Oh,
too much
these?
work.
Sometimes it was easier when we were doing this over Zoom and we could just drop a link or a picture in the
Yeah.
Mm.
We could.
Well, one thing that's interesting, this is a little bit inside baseball, so sorry if people listening don't care. But if you had access to A/B testing, which is
Yeah.
basically where
I
you can
did.
submit
I never used it because I didn't post a video.
Oh
Oh
man.
no.
I was told officially multiple times that program doesn't exist.
But if you had access to it, What metric
Theoretically.
would you want to optimize for? Just straight clicks, or would you want to optimize for
Impressions.
watch time?
Impressions.
Impressions. But the thing is, impressions are based on the signals that are being sent behind the scenes.
Impressions means the algorithm's confident in the video.
Interesting.
CTR
So
means
you would-
CTR is a false flag.
And for anyone listening who doesn't know, click-through rate is CTR. That's how.
That's how many people see your thumbnail
yeah.
and click on it.
Yeah, so
The
that's
CTR is
that's the
bad.
percentage of like how
Of people-
frequently people click.
Yeah, you want high impressions, low CTR.
So impressions is how many people YouTube shows the
if
thumbnail
YouTube
to.
gives you a 1% CTR, your video is probably a banger.
Really?
Well, I mean,
Well,
that
it-
does tend to happen
it
because
evolves over
it
time.
like gets a low CTR because it's being shown to more
I don't
Yeah.
think it'll
people,
give you a 1
you know?
CTR for any ordinary video. Like a
That's
1%
interesting.
CTR, I think takes a really, really high
Crazy,
performing video
yeah,
where
yeah.
it literally is willing to just vomit it out. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
ice cream store. They're not going to put their most bizarre flavors for sampling. They're going to put a couple like confident,
Basic.
Mhm.
basic flavor.
Yeah.
Like vanilla would be like the 1% CTR. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As if you post a video, you can like watch. The more it gets spreads and the more views it has, the click through rate starts going down. So YouTube's
Yeah.
like pushing it to people who might not be interested
Yeah.
in your video. So they're kind of like sending out little
They're
feelers.
less likely to click on
Yeah.
it, but they don't give a shit. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to send this to
Impressions.
everybody.
Yeah.
I'm under the impression that it doesn't even really matter what you do at this point anymore. The algorithm is so good at finding who will watch your videos. Like thumbnail pretty much
pummel
doesn't
them
matter.
with
Yeah,
It
and they'll
does.
just like hit them
It
over the head
does.
with it like over and over until
the
they
thumbnail
click it.
will-
Well, you know
make a
what?
big
One
difference.
thing I can fairly strongly say is that subscribers don't matter.
those
don't
as
matter
at
much
all,
anymore
It
at
died
all.
a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Well, because like
Yeah.
we have
Patreon subscribers though,
yeah,
that's a big
Mhm.
difference.
Very
Yeah.
important.
very important. Do you guys? Are you still doing Polaroids?
Yeah,
Uh-huh. You
Oh,
guys
we have
want
to
some
do
Yeah, we'll
Polaroids?
take some.
yeah. I
Uh-huh.
just got yelled at to do more.
Yeah, it's crazy because we started a lot of new channels after the subscribers don't matter anymore, and we have channels that have like a very small amount
Yeah.
of subscribers that are doing wonderfully.
Yeah,
And it's just crazy.
I see videos on my suggested feed all the time that have like 12 views or like.
Oh yeah, that's
300
pretty,
Yeah,
pretty
it's
new.
happening now.
Have you
Yeah.
noticed that? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
I think
noticing
it's
that.
because of the shorts.
Yeah,
I think the shorts, they had to figure out how to integrate shorts and all of the data from shorts into
right.
the one unified algorithm to some degree.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. But
Yeah.
it coincided with the big shorts push.
Yeah, they're always tweaking it, and they never really are super specific as to what they've done. But I have noticed a trend in it being more willing to push like tiny videos and
Yeah.
tiny creators, and I think that's
Yeah.
kind of like testing. They're just testing and seeing
Mhm.
like, is this being consumed?
Yep.
Is it like it's? I think people have a pretty good chance of getting their videos seen. Like if you're, I see people complaining all the time, but like if the algorithm is not pushing your videos,
It's not
'cause your video
exactly. If you make a good
sucks.
video, people are going to see it,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
that Salt Fork
Salt
is
a good example.
good
yeah.
example of that. Stuff Made Here kind of came out of nowhere too.
Yeah, you did.
with great
Yeah.
videos, and
They're okay.
Mr. Green, his videos
Yeah.
Oh,
are,
yeah.
are really
Nile
good
Green.
too.
He's
Yeah.
been
Nile Green.
evolving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah,
if,
it
if
does
you're
happen.
if you're gonna restart completely different field,
Yeah.
what would you do?
Like a
On-
new
on
channel,
YouTube.
or
New channel on YouTube.
like start a new channel.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Cooking.
I think yeah, probably I think cooking is a really strong brand. Like there's something about cooking that is it's like if you can figure out how to do it, it's a powerhouse of a topic
Mhm.
because it's obscenely relatable.
Yep.
Like ridiculously relatable. Everybody and their mother is interested in food because
Mhm.
guess what? Every day you have to eat food.
I'm hungry
I'm
right
not.
now, even just talking
You're
about food.
stuck eating
Yeah.
food. If you don't eat food,
I don't like
you
food.
die.
Well, I even think about like
You don't like food?
I don't. Can you tell?
That's because you're medicated.
No, I just don't like food anyway. It's not efficient. Why do I got to stop what I'm
So
doing?
You gotta drink Soylent.
Soylent.
Yeah.
Soylent?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what UPS was trying to bill me for. So Soylent, because I had like a subscription to it. So
What?
they sent it to my old house.
Soylent?
In Florida. It was $48 to ship it to California.
Why was it?
Oh.
Who sent it to California?
So Amazon, I had whatever. I had the subscription for it.
mhm.
Oh, reoccurring.
Reoccurring.
recurring.
Yeah.
So like every
it
month they
shows
would
up. Yeah.
send me a 12 pack or
Oh.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it went to Florida, and then they couldn't deliver it because I moved. So like I had an address change in the book. So UPS shipped it all the way to Florida, and then they put that pink slip in my mailbox.
Oh, you
and
should have
said-
rejected. You rejected.
I did. I
Oh.
rejected.
Yeah,
it.
because it would be cheaper
Yeah.
to buy a case of Soylent.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
just buy it again.
Yeah, it's like $12 for a.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
think.
gosh.
I don't know how much.
But you
they
didn't
are.
know what it was.
No, it wasn't. I thought it was going to be something cool.
Oh man.
I was like, what if they don't tell you what it is until they
Yeah.
make you pay until you pay for it?
Do you guys
You
ever
still-
have?
I would've paid for it.
Have the day where like you just open up your door and there's a pile of boxes and you're just like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't know what it is,
Yeah.
and you're just like it feels like Christmas again. You're like, ooh, what's in here? What did pass me
Ooh,
order?
an SD card reader. Yeah.
I know.
Evan can't do anything else if packages have arrived.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
no,
it doesn't matter if we're like
I
on
have,
our way out the door. It's like I must open them now.
I got to use it once. I got to like tinker with
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
I got
yeah.
right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Gotta make sure it works.
Do you have a selection of like tools and knives and stuff to like
to
No,
open your
well,
packages.
no.
I like switching it up.
I
usually do the thing where I punch the box and then I rip it open.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'll teach
But
you that
then
technique.
then you miss all the fun.
no,
knife-
Kate's caveman
knife-
mode. It's
Yeah.
like
Sicko
shower
mode.
oranges. Have you ever eaten an orange in the shower? You just go
Oh.
sicko mode
you
on
ever-
it.
Yeah, you're taking a
Eating-
shit in the shower.
Have you
just
ever
go
eaten an
absolutely
orange in the
sicko
shower?
mode.
Yeah,
Doing
Sounds
my
liberating.
Saving
does
the
it have to be an
planet
orange or a
one- one-
tangerine?
it could be
or-
tangerine.
or
It could,
any
it
of
could be a watermelon. Would be a great one.
watermelon.
Saving the
Yeah,
planet,
you just go
destroying the
buck
pipes.
wild.
What about in a hot tub?
No, because then you stew it.
Right?
Oh
Yeah, the thing is, a shower, it's
Smaller
like
to
it
a shower.
cleanses you too.
Yeah, okay.
Only if I'm feeling
Yeah.
ill. Not if
Oh,
I'm
I'll add
having
that to
a
my
healthy
wish,
bowel movement.
like
Oh, yeah,
to-do
yeah,
list.
yeah.
Do
I'm
it.
happy bowel
Yeah,
movement.
it's
Straight to the
primal.
shower.
Gotta be
Right.
able to wash it
Yeah,
down.
no, I'm not playing no games.
Yeah.
I know what's coming.
Let me find a box. Let me demonstrate my package opening technique.
Well, you don't know what's
Is
in
under that
any of
one?
these.
There's a little LaCroix.
Just hide the address. What address is it?
Here's a LaCroix. Here you go.
I mean, it's kind of.
It doesn't really
Is that
work.
all?
With,
Sicko mode
Might
on the
not
LaCroix
work.
box.
okay,
No,
this
yeah.
doesn't work because it only works on
Wait,
boxes
you
with
need
tape.
to know there's something
Yeah.
exciting inside of it. Here, put that in so that
Oh,
you're like
oh,
it's
airball?
yeah. No,
Okay.
no. That one didn't meet the approval of tear openable.
That one's good. That one's great. Let me see that.
This one?
Okay.
There's all sorts of treasure.
We're digging through the trash pile.
This is the
There's-
grocery. I
there's
used to work at a grocery
literally, like,
store, so this
real-
is the technique that.
There's spam in here.
Yeah. Is it
Like,
unopened?
Crack that bad boy open.
unopened
Oh.
real spam.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good. That's good
Here,
still.
hold this.
Okay, here, let me put it on the diapers and dual wield these.
It's
Okay.
like a bag of
ASMR.
like.
I mean that's a lot of
A lot of
tape.
tape.
That's a lot of
Do you
tape.
think?
Thank
you
you.
think that's a lot of
I
tape?
don't
But
know,
watch
actually know what's
this.
in there. I don't think it's fake kit. I hope it's
Punch
not.
it
I think it's fake.
Oh,
feels
you just
fake.
rip
Rip
it
the
off.
tape off.
Okay.
like that.
Oh, okay.
Boom, it's
Yep.
open.
I like that. I like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That was less sicko mode than I thought.
I don't know. Probably this one.
Okay, I think so. Anyway,
That was
Mine
fun.
are usually the terror tabs.
Did you add the eyes to that cat?
No, I don't know.
No.
I think Chelsea bought these.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they look like stick-on.
They look
googly
like
eyes.
googly
They
eyes.
are
I think they
googly
might
eyes.
be.
Okay.
Let's get an Amazon special.
Evan, I meant to
It's
ask
like a
you
really
when we were
sweaty
talking
hat.
about ants. Do you
Yeah.
think you could fight your equivalent weight in ants? And
Are
what would be
they
your
intelligent?
technique?
Are they intelligent?
Mildly. They can kind of somewhat strategize.
What's their strength? About my strength?
No, they're individual,
Individual.
and they're forming more of like a mound.
a
And you
mound.
have to kill every single one of them.
Are we in a room or are we in a field?
I would say you're in. It doesn't matter. I would say you're in a field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the main hard part would be killing all of them.
Like
'Cause if
not
that's the
letting them
victory
escape.
condition,
Well, the victory
Do we get a
condition
gun?
would be you've killed enough of them where they can't possibly fight back
why
anymore.
not the
Okay.
flamethrower? That's
No,
Do you
no,
get weapons?
just you. just
me.
Can I eat them?
Just me.
You can eat them.
Am I wearing clothes?
Yes.
Are the ants wearing clothes?
Maybe your clothes if you don't play your cards
Well,
right.
what I'd probably do is I'd probably take off my shirt and start smushing them.
Oh, like lay it down on them and then
Yeah.
smush them through the shirt
Yeah.
so
that's
that they
pretty
can't.
clever.
Yeah.
Because then they can't crawl up your
Yeah,
legs.
they can't crawl.
Yeah.
Ooh, that might be a winning
Put a barrier.
strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that if I was the ants,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I could kill the human.
yeah. Like
Well,
if you were
yeah,
like
yeah.
Ender's Game,
If
you
you're
could control the
intelligent.
You
ants.
could surround them
Yeah.
and approach 360.
Wear them out.
You go
No, no, no,
into
no, no.
the orifices.
I'll Zerg rush.
Yeah.
If I were the ants, I'd 100%
Yeah,
Zerg
yeah.
rush.
Just take like some heavy losses right away,
Yeah,
just
100%.
to
Yeah.
get on.
Well, just go straight for the orifices.
Yeah, on and
Yeah.
in.
You know? Yeah.
No, I think I would do I would take a percentage of my ants to tire them out. And then Zerg rush them.
Mm.
Wear them down and then go in for the kill.
Okay.
You're like an ant in Ender's
Well,
Game.
once
Yeah.
I
Anter's
accidentally did
game.
I almost said barrel roll. What's the equivalent
Cartwheel?
of cartwheel
Hmm.
into an ant pile?
Yeah.
And they made it up to like my upper leg
Yeah.
full of ants.
Yeah.
And
That was just normal ant hill.
that was painful.
They were biting?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I'm allergic to grass.
Yeah.
Super allergic to grass.
You're really itchy.
So I thought I was just having an allergic reaction to grass, but no, there were hundreds
Yeah.
of ants biting me.
See, this is
You know
why
what
we
they
had
do?
to pour the molten aluminum. Is
Yeah.
because I
they
didn't want
get on you and then they release a chemical pheromone to all bite at once.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Ooh.
it's like all coordinated.
So when do they?
I don't know.
I wonder how. Is this the first one that panics? It's like wait until you see.
Yeah,
the-
probably. Yeah, it's
Wait
like an
until you see
ant's
the-
an
the-
ant's prisoner dilemma or something.
Wait until you see his underwear and then all go at the same time.
Bite his
Yeah,
dick.
yeah,
Bite his
bite
dick. Bite his dick.
I was thinking.
When do we bite? You
by
know when.
inches.
Oh, close.
It was close.
So-
Yeah, they made it all the way up to my ankles.
If
I
I think this is really really dependent on the type of ant too, right? Like the Argentine ants, those
Yeah.
are the invasive ones, and
Yeah, the
then
little
the
black
fire
ones.
ants are the nasty ones here that bite. That's what
Mhm.
we cast into.
Oh
the
my god,
fire
my
ant
finger
nest.
was swollen for a day.
Yeah, he let one bite him. Like I think
Oh.
that there's definitely like a
Different
lot
flavors of ants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the bite and sting. I think you would have a pretty good chance of like absolutely messing somebody up. The Argentine ants, like
I don't think they bite. They could
Yeah.
maybe suffocate you.
they could like try to like
Yeah.
take you apart piece by piece. Like they would
That would
like
take a long time.
What about
Yeah.
laserverse ants? Would that work?
that would.
You're like-
Off the record, yeah, it works really good.
Off the record. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying,
Okay.
there's probably a billion ants here on this in this parcel. Like there is an obscene. There's a couple of things here that are actually a nightmare. One of them is ants. There's an
Yeah.
obscene amount of ants here, and there's that stupid goat head. weed.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that
Dude.
plant is horrible.
Does it itch?
No, it's these nasty,
Oh,
spiky
spikes.
I'm surprised I don't
seeds.
have. I think you have them
Oh.
in Texas too. Because I
The
saw
ones
when
that
I-
are like this big?
No,
The
they're like
Oh yeah, the little,
the little tiny ones like this.
Yeah, they're like the size
oh,
of like a peanut.
yeah,
and they're
those
like
suck. They get
Oh.
all on your socks and stuff.
Yeah.
no, not the
No?
curly, not the Velcro ones. These
Oh.
ones will
These
like
they have like
stick into your
hard
shoes.
spikes that
Oh,
are like
wow.
a centimeter long.
They will go
Oh.
right into the rubber of your shoes.
Yeah.
How hard?
So
would
no
it be
rolling
to
around
make
outside.
the
No,
laser
like the
portable?
dogs,
Bring it
were
off
like
grid.
actually like getting messed
Oh,
up.
Oh my
it
God.
doesn't
They were,
draw
like,
that
afraid
much
to go
power.
outside.
So it's
Yeah.
2,000 watts and it only draws like 4,000 watts. So
What
generator.
What voltage does it use?
220.
220.
You
So
mow
you
the
can-
lawn with the laser?
You could, yeah. I mean, they have backpack 100-watt cleaning lasers. Those are pretty portable.
None of this stuff.
Uh,
This,
yeah.
do you know how big those 2,000-watt lasers used to be like 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
ridiculous. Yeah,
Like the
right.
size of a huge like.
You sound like
fridge.
a boomer talking about
Hmm.
computers.
And now they're like the size of a mini fridge.
But you-
A big
you-
fridge
you
to a
could-
small fridge. That's
but
the
you-
only way I can describe this.
The reason why I'm going there is you could make a go kart. Could you make a go kart? Put the laser on the go kart.
Oh, just like behind it and
yeah. Put the laser behind
And lawn
you.
mow
You
that
mount-
way?
Well, you mount the laser gun in front, and you can use it
have
for
it
anything.
like. Zzz,
Yeah.
Oh, no, not just for lawn mowing, for whatever you want.
Refinish your
Sports
And
floors?
you just have a portable laser cannon go kart.
I have a question.
you could do that
Okay, so
if you
what
shine the.
you know the light bulbs, the vacuum tubes with like the white and black little like flags that like spin around.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
that work? That's not like that's actually a
don't know.
phenomenon, right? It's a phenomenon. Like,
What,
it
yeah,
works.
But would it work with the laser?
I was reading something. I'm like I don't actually know like something while I was like like oh it's a demonstration, but it kind of doesn't really work. But it does work.
it
Like
works.
it does work.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Could you put enough of those in an area and then either power them with the laser or like a light and actually like drive a drive shaft like a really high gear ratio or like
Oh,
magnetically
man.
couple them?
I don't know. That's like those like Hawaiian dancing girls that you put on
Yeah.
your
Mhm.
dashboard. That's like asking one of those to power anything.
Like how much like if you
Mm.
had a big one and you shined the like laser like 2,000 watts of optical power at it?
I think aren't they in a vacuum too?
Yeah. Or maybe I don't know.
I
they?
mean, this requires more math than I
More
can
math?
do right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Could you?
If you put 10,000 Kevins in a room and 10,000
You end up
pounds
with
of methamphetamine, I could probably
Demon
figure it out.
core. So you end up with a nuke and a bunch of dead Kevins.
Could
Just
you?
the clones.
Could you do reverse spray painting with the laser?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you just spray
That's one
paint-
thing that's
you
really
spray
good
paint
at.
an entire wall black,
Uh-huh.
and then you do, then you just peel back the paint to reveal the brick.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends on what's
Mm.
underneath. like some stuff like wood is a little tricky because you have to be pretty. You have to have perfectly timed.
But like brick, you could just
Yeah, brick works well.
Yeah.
Concrete works well.
Hmm.
It does crazy shit to the concrete though. Like the concrete
Like-
surface is like almost like it's been struck by lightning. Like it's like
Oh.
really
Whoa.
abused.
is it
Yeah.
like
Rough.
very sandpapery and
Yeah.
and,
Porous?
Yeah.
It feels like it's obliterated like either like larger particles or the actual like the limestone, like the actual
Yeah,
cement
so it gives it
itself.
like a really rough texture.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like it peels off all
Oh,
the tiny rocks
you
and
know-
sand, or leaves that
Yeah.
behind. I don't know.
I think what it probably does is, cement is a mix of concrete and aggregate. So you're
Yeah.
probably removing and destroying the concrete.
I think the
Mm.
concrete is being removed. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think that it
Because that's the
leaves-
finest stuff.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
powder.
It leaves the
Oh, yeah.
stones.
No, the fine stuff is the cement.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
sorry,
cement.
cement. I'm
and concrete.
I got
Concrete's
you.
the
Oh, yeah.
I
next
got
thing.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was trying to say, but words are hard.
Dude.
Concepts are hard.
I know. People yell. That's like such a common one, like electrocuted. It's like
Oh,
electrocuted.
eat my ass. Let's
I
change the
know,
definition.
right?
Let's change
Wait,
the
wait,
damn
wait,
definition.
Wait, what's wrong with
tell us, tell us.
You
electrocuted?
have to die.
that means you're dead. You got killed by electricity.
So what do you say
Electrocuted
instead?
is-
Shocked?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Fuck.
people just use it colloquially.
No, you look at you added another one to the pile.
Colloquially.
Quickly.
Colloquially.
That's a whore. We should get rid of that word.
That's a bad
Yeah,
one.
that one. Well,
Let's
we're at
redefine
That and Colonel-
electrocuted.
electrocute
Yeah.
it.
And get rid of click.
Can I vote for Colonel too? I don't know.
Colonel?
Colonel
Yeah.
Sanders.
No, just Colonel in general. Just 'cause I
Colonel?
hate how it's spelled.
Oh, Colonel? Yeah, I don't like Colonel.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Linux,
Yeah, Colonel.
Linux?
Linux kernels.
Linux kernel. I
Oh,
still don't
oh.
really know what that is.
Once you start having to figure out what a Linux kernel is and how to install it,
yeah, you're a nerd.
yeah, some bad shit's going on with your
Yeah.
computer or your iPhone.
I've done it back in the day.
What is a kernel?
He's just saying he doesn't like the way it's spelled.
Oh, yeah.
It's colonel.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's, oh man, I'm really bad at spelling. That's
Unless
how I
it's
do everything,
Linux
too,
kernels
yeah.
with a K, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
I heard Hank Green. I think Hank Green. Someone said a word the other day. I think it was a Hank Green thing where he says it how it's spelt as like that's like in his head the kind of device that he uses to spell it correctly.
Like
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like that's we should
Wednesday.
change.
Yeah.
I think
Wednesday,
yeah.
Why is everyone so against just changing some of these stupid words?
Yeah.
February.
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 Sword.
Sword.
We made a resin sword. Ah!
Sorry.
Sword.
Like there's especially as you say it more and more,
Yeah.
it gets more and
You
more
see it
worse,
written.
and you really doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
Like,
doubt
am
your
I
intelligence.
insane right now?
Yeah.
What is happening?
You are wearing a cat hat.
Do I look crazy?
Is it a cat
You
hat?
look nice.
Yeah,
It's a cat hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's a nice look.
it's very nice. I feel like you should be driving like one of those Red Bull cars,
The Flutog?
the one
Oh,
that
yeah.
flies off into
Yeah.
the
We
water.
were talking about doing one of those. I think
Oh,
we would
really?
die, yeah.
I
You would
wouldn't want to
die?
be on it.
No, Peter would. We'd throw Peter. Peter would absolutely go on it. We would
He
have
would?
to.
Yeah, he
We'd have
would.
to fight
We'd
him
make
to
him,
take his
'cause-
spot.
Yeah.
Well,
He would-
Peter would just make it actually fly.
Well, we
He
would
would
do.
go off
Yeah,
the
we
ramp
would work
and
with
he would,
like,
Peter.
Peter,
we,
he'd
would,
everybody
go
that
off the
pushes
ramp,
it
Right.
goes
and
off with it.
He would just go.
we would make sure that he's building it correctly. We would make sure that he's well fed and hydrated while he's building it, and then he would get in it, and then we would push him off, and that's
Yeah.
that's how the teamwork with us.
Usually the team goes off with the plane.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Off the
A
ramp.
lot of
Oh,
times.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big drop, right?
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Wait.
Wait.
You can't
Wait,
hold on to
what?
the plane after it's off the edge, right? You have to let go.
I think so.
I don't know.
I
I
haven't
don't know
read
the
the
rules.
rules.
I bet you that is a rule because you could definitely dump a bunch more energy into it if all
Yeah.
the teammates were hanging on to just
Oh,
slam it down.
And then you let go and it pulls
Yeah.
up.
Give it the speed and
Yeah.
energy.
Dump
and
your
then let
potential
go.
energy into like downward velocity and
Yeah.
then rip up last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's not a rule, that whoever is in charge of the rules, if somebody listening, they definitely would add a rule. I want to be the guy who makes the rule. I want to have.
Don't
the
make another
Flutog.
event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
uh,
no more.
Just add that to
how do you-
Opensauce.
How do you think
What-
we
what if
made the
you-
rules?
What if you add that event to Opensauce?
Yeah, Flutog.
There's the egg drop. There's the
derby
derby, and then
Shredder derby.
and then whatever that
Flutog.
word you're saying is.
It's
Yeah.
up here.
We went through like I know exactly what I do in real life, and that was how we made all of the rules and questionnaires for
Oh
Opensauce.
yeah.
Were there any events you considered, like interactive events like that were too dangerous to include?
I mean the bad ones were my idea. Because we were gonna do power tool racing. Oh, you mean like at Opensauce?
Yeah.
The original idea was power tool racing, and then we were sitting there like, how are we going to present this to the insurance company?
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided that it was a little bit too much for our first year, and so the guy that who organized it basically like, oh man, this is such a weird story. So I got an email after we did the power tool racing video, and this guy who lives up in Northern California was asking if there was like, I've always wanted to do a power tool racing competition, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, hey, well, actually we're doing something. And that was Opensauce. And so I hit him up, a couple months later, and we started working through it. And I realized that it would be a little bit too much of a pain in the ass to do power tool racing, just from like a safety and logistics and organization standpoint. And so I came up with another idea of like, well, what's like a race we could do that's kind of like power tool racing? Like we do Pinewood Derby racing, but that's boring. And like, what if you lose, the car's destroyed?
Yeah.
Because I'm very like very high stakes, like anti try hard, because it's a huge gatekeeping mechanic that people don't even realize is happening.
Mm-hmm.
If you make it too difficult to enter, or if you make it so the stakes are really high that if something goes wrong, you lose your work, people are willing to put less work into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I pitched to him like, hey, what if we do this instead? If you want to build, because he's a mechanical engineer, you could build this contraption where the cars get destroyed. And so it's like a little bit safer. I don't want to say safer. It's just easier to explain to an insurance company. And he was super down, and it turned out really well.
The shredder was awesome.
It's in the shipping container.
Oh, nice.
But I think next year I want to try to. We talked a little bit about making it run slower, so that it doesn't fling the car up, and so doing it with like a hydraulic motor or drivetrain, a gear reduction.
Yeah.
But like from a safety standpoint, like the scariest stuff for us was I had a couple ideas that I'm a little scared of that we can do once we have more space. One of them's up in the shed.
Oh.
And we can mute it. It's a.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be fun.
That'll be fun.
And
make sure you get your tickets.
And then the Exosapien was kind of scary in that small space. So
I was just worried that it was going to break the concrete.
Oh god, dude, they would have had.
It'd be cool if you could like put some old cars in there and you could watch it like smash a car or something.
Yeah.
Something like potentially with cars. Radiation was a problem. Like that was one of the exhibitor questionnaires that I put in there, and we caught a couple of things, like nothing bad, but enough where it kind of you like look at what they're doing and
like somebody that wanted to bring their homemade fuser.
There was one, I don't remember what it was. It was just a really weird application too, but like it was, I don't know. And I think we looked into it, and you know more about that crap than me, and you're like, yeah, it probably wouldn't be that exciting anyways. And it would just be a hazard.
Yeah, I think that was the fuser.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. And it was like, no, high voltage.
It's like an X-ray hazard, and you're making like neutron radiation possibly.
Yeah. Bunch of amateur
like
Tesla coils too. Those are like, we were gonna, it was
you
like
need space to do a Tesla coil.
You can't, and it's like also like, it's like a 14-year-old kid who's made a Tesla coil. It's like you cannot let that person run it.
I would trust the kid more than I trust the audience not to mess with it.
You had Tesla coils covered.
Yeah. And we did talk to them though, and they were willing, Architect was willing to bring in, like if there was somebody who wanted to demo a Tesla coil, bring it in there and under their supervision. Because it's like you can't, it's just, there's too many things happening that when you kind of let some of these loose cannons, the instant you give somebody permission, you're like on the hook.
Yeah.
And that's bad. Like,
also, everybody that came with the Tesla coil, they were kind of local, right? So it's like, wasn't that big of a deal that they couldn't show it, because they were just like, yeah, come on over, and they were all kids, they wanted to show off their Tesla coil,
right? And the biggest problem, and like this is sort of the scariest thing, like as the event, is the instant we have an insurance claim, it makes it way more difficult in the future to get an insurance policy. And if you don't have an insurance policy, you basically can't do the event. And so that is like, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating because it creates a bunch of weird rules and practices that we have to follow, because we're not allowed to assume that risk, or it'll like mess it up for everybody basically. If somebody does something dumb and they have their own insurance policy, that's great. If they do something dumb and they have a liability waiver, that's great. But if somebody does something dumb and it comes back to us, now it's hard. It makes it harder to do the event.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, awesome.
Yeah.
inherently like people bring weird stuff or contraptions that are, dumb and dangerous. I mean, like I brought
sneak something in.
Right. But when they sneak something in, that's a little bit different. Like you're not supposed to do that. And so it's sort of like,
they didn't get permission.
You never told them, okay.
Right. Exactly.
So when Kevin sneaks his laser in.
Right.
Yeah. They're not truthful on their application.
Yeah.
So like, that's why you have these applications that ask all these questions.
Set the precedent.
What we learned is if something happens, doesn't matter, you're getting sued. Doesn't matter.
Have you gotten
I know.
Oh, hey.
That's
no.
good.
Hey.
We were taking bets on if it was going to happen or not.
Nothing happened.
Didn't get sued.
Well, at least it's like sucks for you, but also hey, you can maybe get a video out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you did get sued,
someone sued me.
Yeah,
it's it's like the worst part of the whole thing is all the legal crap, and it just like made such a. You want a friend with an event. You don't want an event.
Yeah. Like, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's great.
That's not what I was a little bit too close to the event to say that.
Yeah.
Because I was
still watching people's videos and seeing all the cool stuff, like the glove applicator machine. Like when when I saw that application, I was like, I was so on the fence about it because I was like, this just feels like it was like some shitty renders, very like rudimentary CAD. And I'm like, it feels so like just an idea that someone made like a really rough model of. And I'm like, you know what? If it even is remotely real, it's going to be really cool. And I saw Stefan CNC Kitchen. I think his video had it. And I was like, thank you. Like, oh my God, I'm so glad that he actually showed up with a glove applying machine.
Yeah.
It put it on your hand.
It grabs it. Opens it up. It like apertures, like an aperture mechanism that like opens the glove sleeve and you can like shove your hand in. Like, I think it worked okay, but it was such a novel idea and this kind of cool, invention the guy had built.
Oh.
Hi, Potato. Is she less screamy now?
We have a fan. We have a fan showing up to the show.
Potato.
The actual guest has arrived.
Yes.
Because I'm very hungry.
Okay. All right. We'll talk. Thank you, everybody. Who supports us on Patreon. The names are flying across the screen right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's been great being here.
Do they flap?
We used to do more stuff, but our editor doesn't want to do all the fancy animations. So we stopped doing it. But yeah, thank you everybody who supports us on Patreon. You get extra content like last week's episode. We recorded a bonus, and I think we could probably record something short today. Or we'll just do it quick, whatever.
Yeah. Well, also it lets them do kind of crazier ideas. I've heard some talk of crazy things.
We've done
and if you want them to do crazy things,
we have spent every last Patreon dollar on the dumbest things on extras, and one of them we spent a bunch of money, and it wasn't really that good, so we didn't post it, which is sad.
Wait, which one is that?
The car video.
The car video?
Yeah,
that's a great video.
No, it didn't make any sense.
Just blame it on me if people don't.
No,
like
I think we'll do like Mystery Science Theater. We'll like watch it. Or
react to it.
Yeah, and react to it. Or we'll do the video from the perspective of us trying to make a video where we're trying to we're dealing with the problems in voiceover like in real time of how it was uninteresting. So
like a director's cut.
Yeah, we had to force ourselves into situations that we didn't actually find ourselves in to make it more exciting.
Well, I think that's almost more interesting.
Yeah.
Especially for the people who will support on Patreon. We
enjoy our failures.
I think they want to hear. You get like
it's a
2
deeper
layers.
insight into your mind.
Yeah.
Then
I'm not sure they want to go much deeper.
You never know.
Actually, they do. They're all degenerates. The Discord server is a disaster.
So I'm, there's a reason why it's called watching a train wreck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's a strange fascination that all humans have to like look at disasters.
Someone who's dissolving in front of them.
How many
why
History
people watch this
Channel
podcast.
specials have been made about disasters?
All
Seconds
of them.
from disaster.
Yeah. That's true. It's the worst experiences make the best stories.
There you go.
All right. We'll see you guys for the extra, and everyone else, we'll see you next week. Look at that. We're back on a weekly schedule, and we're recording new ones.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yay.
All right. See you on Patreon.